what's up? Hello, my name is Emma and today I am doing the Book Lovers Survival Tag. This tag was actually created by Penguin Teen and additionally they are sponsoring this video, so thank you so much to Penguin Teen for working with me on the release of A Map for Wrecked Girls by Jessica Taylor. So the Book Lovers Survival Tag was inspired by this upcoming release from Penguin Teen. A Map for Wrecked Girls comes out on August 15th and the reason it has inspired the Book Lover Survival Tag is because it follows two sisters who are stranded on a deserted island and have to survive it. Our main character's name is Emma and she is stranded on this island with her sister who she really looks up to named Henry. On this deserted island, Emma and Henry end up meeting a boy named Alex who is there with his own secrets, and as Emma and Alex grow closer, Emma and Henry seem to fall apart. And in order to get off this island and to get back to shore, Emma and Henry have to find their way back to each other and they kind of all have to work together to escape this disaster. It sounds like a really interesting tale of sisterly love and friendship, which I am always down for in YA. On the back of the cover, they have some blurbs from some authors that I admire, one of them being Jennifer Matthew, who's the author of one of my all-time new favorites, Moxie. But she says that A Map for Wrecked Girls is a heart-stopping page-turner. Jessica Taylor has told a story about heartbreak and surviving the unimaginable. I could not put this book down, and that's in capitals so you know it's legit. So thank you to Penguin for giving me the opportunity to read A Map for Wrecked Girls, which I am really excited about. But today we're going to be doing the Book Lover Survival Tag. This is a super easy tag that answers the age-old question, what book would you bring on a deserted island? As Penguin understands that we are readers and most of us would probably rather sacrifice our firstborn child than ever have to pick just one book to take on an island with us, the goal of the tag is to pick 5 to 8 books that you would bring with you on a deserted island and explain why. Which still has me a little shook because do you understand how many books Cassandra Clare has that I cannot live without? Though I do think some of you will be interested in some of the choices I have chosen to take with me on this fictitious deserted island, though the first two will not surprise you whatsoever, and that is of course City of Bones and City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. As I was preparing for this tag, I definitely realized how difficult it is to choose your favorites of a series, but I went with City of Bones because it is the start. It is the start of my reading life. It is the start of my booktube journey. It is the start of the Mortal Instruments series, and there is just something about the first book in a series that no matter how great the rest of the books are, it cannot amount to that special feeling that comes from reading the original installment. And that is definitely present in City of Bones for me. It is absolutely not Cassandra Clare's best written book by any means, but there is something about City of Bones that I can't help but love, and I feel like my life would be so incomplete without it, especially on a deserted island. I have expressed on my channel a million times over that City of Lost Souls is my favorite book of all time. I cannot explain why. I have tried and failed multiple times. There's just something about this book that is so special to me, and there's something about the plot that is so magical that I can't not say that this is my favorite book of all time. If I had to choose one book to bring with me on a deserted island, or maybe like two because I genuinely don't think I'd ever be able to pick just one, I would absolutely choose City of Lost Souls. So the third book I would choose to take with me on a deserted island is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling. The same thing I said about original installments of a series, absolutely go for the conclusion. There is something about the last book in a series that does not amount to anything previously. I have always been the type of person that has really been drawn to the first book in a series and the last. There's just something about the beginning and the end that is just so inherently unique to me, and it pretty much persists for every single book I read, but I just love Deathly Hallows so much. I think it's definitely my favorite book out of all the Harry Potter series. I think the reason I would specifically choose to take Deathly Hallows though is because there's so much content in it. It is a 700-page book. I feel like it is definitely very intense. It deals with heavy themes. There's a lot of action scenes. There's just so much weight that this book holds, and I think that would definitely keep me entertained by reading it over and over and over again all throughout this deserted island. The fourth book I would choose to take with me on a deserted island is Night Film by Marisha Pessl. This is an adult psychological thriller novel, and it is definitely a book that I have reviewed before on my channel. The reason I would pick Night Film is although it's not my absolute favorite book of all time, I still love this book with all of my heart, and again, I feel like there's just so much to this story that I wouldn't get sick of reading it over and over again. I have only read Night Film once, but I am a huge supporter of rereads. I love rereading books, and I would absolutely love the opportunity to read Night Film. I mean, I probably could reread it not being on a desert island, but like given the opportunity to bring an adult book on an island, I would definitely pick Night Film. I just think I might need a change of pace to YA, because although that's mostly what I read, every once in a while I just get in the mood for something like creepy and dark and a little bit more mature and sophisticated, and Night Film would definitely fulfill all of that for me. The fifth book I would choose to bring with me on a deserted island is This Song Will Save Your Life by Layla Sales. Again, this is absolutely one of my favorite standalones of all time. Like, it has changed me as a person so much, and if you've ever heard me talk about This Song Will Save Your Life, you understand why. But again, it's another book that I haven't reread since 2014, but it's so special to me and it holds such a significant place in my heart that I think I would absolutely be content having this with me in all of the stress of trying to survive a deserted island. This Song Will Save Your Life has just always been such a comfort for me. Like, it's something I can really identify with and relate to, and those are certain feelings that I feel like I would need being stuck on a deserted island, and it's another book I definitely don't think I could live without, so I'm grateful it's in my life, and I think I would definitely bring it with me if I was deserted on an island. The sixth book I would choose to bring with me on a deserted island is Blood Promise by Rochelle Mead, which is the fourth book of the Vampire Academy series. Now, I had a lot of trouble picking the one Vampire Academy book I would want to bring with me, because I would absolutely want to bring a Vampire Academy book, but I don't know which one. So the reason I picked Blood Promise is as I was reading it for the first time, because again, I've only read Vampire Academy once, there was something about Blood Promise that was my favorite. It's like the same thing with City of Lost Souls. Although my favorites are always introductions and conclusions to series, sometimes there's just something special about a book midway through the series that I can't place my finger on, and it just makes me love it so much more. Honestly, I think if I have enough time to prepare what books I would like to take with me on a deserted island, I would have enough time to reread Vampire Academy to like make sure. So I think that would be like a great plan, like just marathon all the books the week before I am stranded on this deserted island, and then I could pick which one I wanted. But if I had to like pick right now, like someone was like, we're going to a deserted island, you have 10 minutes to pack the 5 to 8 books that you want, I'd probably pick Blood Promise. The seventh book I would bring with me on my deserted island is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Now, I love A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I love Sarah J. Maas. Like, I just finished the third book in this series this month, and I really, really love it. It's just not my all-time favorite. So why would I take it on a desert island, you ask? It's because I had so much fun reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. A lot of times when I read a book, I forget about the content very easily, but I read A Court of Thorns and Roses over a year and a half ago, and I still feel like I read this book just yesterday. Like, everything that happens in this book is so fresh in my mind, and I think that really says something about how significant this book is to me. So although this isn't my favorite book of all time, and it's not the best book I've ever read, there's something significant about it that would make me want to bring it with me. Like, maybe it's for entertainment purposes, maybe it's because I have so many good memories attached to this book because I remember just loving it so much. I just think I would really like to bring it with me on a deserted island and just read it over and over and over and over again until the end of my days. So the eighth and final book I would like to bring with me on a desert island is, of course, another Cassandra Clare book, and that is Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book in the Dark Artifices series, and although I was going back and forth about Vampire Academy for a while, like, I spent so long trying to decide which Dark Artifices book I wanted to bring with me. So if anything, this video really made me determine, like, did I like Lady Midnight or Lord of Shadows better? And I think I had to pick Lord of Shadows. If you've been on my channel for more than like 5 seconds, you know that my favorite author of all time is Cassandra Clare, and I genuinely believe that every single one of her books gets better and better and better, and currently Lord of Shadows being her most recent work is absolutely her best work in my opinion. I just love these characters so much. I love the direction of this story. Like, Lord of Shadows is absolutely my favorite book of 2017. There is so much to love about it, just like love, 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 love. Again, this book just has so much great content in it that I can't imagine myself ever being bored having to reread it over and over and over again by not having access to other books. Like, let's be real, I already choose to reread Cassandra Clare books over and over and over again when I do have access to other books, so really if I was on a deserted island that wouldn't change very much. But I love Lord of Shadows so much. It was a fantastic read. I love the Dark Artifices series so much, and again, along with a lot of the books on this list, I feel like my life would be incomplete without it. So that's really it for the Book Lover Survival Tag. Do not forget to pick up your copy of A Map for Wrecked Girls this August 15th. I am definitely excited for this epic story of sisterhood, survival, and love. I cannot wait to see what this story holds, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it as well. Thank you again to Penguin Teen for sponsoring this video and for creating such an awesome tag that I know is is going to be driving some of you crazy to determine what books would you want to bring on a deserted island. So of course I have to ask, if you were stranded on a deserted island, what 5 to 8 books would you bring? I'm going to tag a few people that I have never tagged before, so I'm going to tag Proud Book Lion, A Dash of Ash, Bookies and Cookies, Ben Sanders, and Kayla on Fiction. So the 5 of you are tagged to do the Book Lover Survival Guide, as well as any of you who are interested in sharing a handful of the books that you would take with you on a deserted island. Once again, thank you so much to Penguin Teen. Don't forget to pick up your own copy of A Map for Wrecked Girls by Jessica Taylor on August 15th. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon for a new video. Bye!